The Battle of Gettysburg was fought July 1st to July 3rd in and around Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The Civil War between Northern Union troops and the Southern Confederate troops began with the attack on Fort Sumter in April 1861. The Battle of Gettysburg was fought during the first 3 days of July 1863 and is considered one of the most important battles of the Civil War and a major turning point for the North. However, the Civil War did not end until almost 2 years later, in April 1865. Introduction. The Confederate Army was led by Robert E. Lee. He, along with General Longstreet and General Pickett, led 72,000 troops at Gettysburg. This was their second invasion of the North. They wanted to move the war away from Virginia, where much of the fighting had been occurring, and thought that they could find more supplies in the North. Lee and his men hoped to defeat the Union Army once and for all. General George Meade led the Union Northern Army, who was trying to keep the Confederate Army away from Washington, D.C. The Northern and Southern armies met where 10 roads crossed in the small Pennsylvania town of Gettysburg with a population of 2,000 over the first 3 days of July and the summer of 1863. Day 1, July 1st, 1863. On the first day, both the Northern and Southern armies were still coming together in Gettysburg. That day, the Confederates outnumbered the Union Army. The Confederates attacked, causing the Union to retreat to the south side of town. At the end of the day, General Lee wanted to continue the attack and finish out the Union troops. He ordered his new general, Richard Ewell, to attack and seize Cemetery Hill, where the Union had retreated. However, Ewell chose not to attack, making his decision one of the biggest mistakes of the war. This gave the Union a chance to get additional troops. During the night, reinforcements arrived for both sides. On the first day at Gettysburg, over 16,000 men were killed, wounded, missing, or captured. Day 2, July 2nd, 1863. On the second day of the battle, the armies on both sides were in full force. The Union Army had around 94,000 troops and the Confederates had around 72,000. Cold Hill and Cemetery Hill may have been the most important battle sites this day. However, the Battle of Little Round Top is perhaps the most famous. While some Union troops were protecting the hill, they ran out of ammunition, so they performed a bayonet charge running down the hill directly towards the Confederates. 82% of the participating Union soldiers were casualties of the charge. There was fierce fighting with each side, taking heavy losses with both deaths and injuries. The Confederates were not able to defeat the Union. This battle was the largest battle day. 20,000 were killed, wounded, captured, and missing on the second day. Day 3, July 3rd, 1863. On the third day at the Battle of Gettysburg, General Lee was convinced that if he could win this battle, the South would win the war. That afternoon, General Lee made an all-or-nothing attack on the Union. General Lee ordered General Pickett to directly charge the Union Army with 12,500 men. However, when Pickett's men charged the Union troops at Cemetery Ridge, they were overwhelmed by the Union, leaving over half of those Confederate soldiers either injured or killed. The Confederate retreat, July 4th, 1863. As a result, on July 4th, the Confederate Army retreated. The line of wounded soldiers marching away from Gettysburg stretched for more than 14 miles. Despite the wind, General Meade and his Union Army did not chase after Lee's army. They were exhausted and had to deal with the many casualties and deaths of the battle. President Lincoln was disappointed that they did not pursue the Confederate Army, as he thought that they could have been defeated and the Civil War would have ended. The Battle of Gettysburg is considered one of the most important battles and the most costly in human life of the Civil War. There are an estimated 46,000 casualties, including 8,000 deaths. The Gettysburg Address. 4 months after the battle, on November 19, 1863, President Lincoln dedicated the Gettysburg Cemetery and honored the soldiers of the Battle of Gettysburg. President Lincoln delivered his famous speech, the Gettysburg Address, to honor the soldiers and redefine the purpose of the war. He referred back to the Declaration of Independence to remind everyone that the Union was fighting for liberty for, by, and of the people.